Lecture topic: Making the right choice.
One person wrote to Hazrat Maulana Shaykh Ali Thani rahmatullahi alayhi. He wrote a whole list that I am involved in these sins and I am unable to get myself out of it. What he wrote actually was that this is something which is beyond me. I am not in control of this situation. So a whole list of things he wrote down. So I wrote back to him and he said, think very carefully that are you doing these things of your own volition, of your choice, or is it happening without your choice? Because that was what the crux of his letter was, that as if I'm unable to do anything about this, this is beyond me. So like beyond me is a person that is being pushed into something without his control in it, without his any choice in it. So I said, think carefully, are you doing it with your choice or are you doing it without this? So he was sincere about it, he thought about it, and then he wrote back with each one. He said, identify each one, how is this happening? He said, definitely all this is happening because I'm choosing to do it. I said that if you are choosing to do it, then choice has both sides to it. You can't say that a person has one, for example, one thing in front of him, water only, and so you can choose what you want to drink, water or something else. He's only got water in front of him. A choice is not applicable where there's only one thing. A choice is applicable when there's two things or more. So now if you are choosing to do it, it means you can choose not to do it also. Because ikhtiyar and this choice is applicable when there's both sides to it. So you've accepted that this is by choice you're doing it, so by choice you can avoid it also. But the issue is, for example, a person can choose to carry something, but he's weakened his hand so much, hasn't used it for so long, the muscles have all withered away. Now it's in his choice to carry it, but he's made himself so weak that he's unable to pick that load up. It's not that he is desperate and is unable to do it. He has weakened himself, as a result of which he is now brought about that own situation that he's now unable to do what he can do. He would normally be able to do it, but in this situation he's weakened himself. So what is the solution to it? That he must now once again strengthen himself. If he strengthens himself, then that load which was manageable for anybody, he'll be able to manage it too. But if he continues to weaken himself, then even that too would become too much, which others are managing without any difficulty. So these things are all by choice a person does it, and if he's doing it by choice, he can by choice not do it also. But that requires that now if he's weakened himself deliberately, he's eaten poison, as a result of which he's weakened himself, now he can't even walk properly. Now he must get rid of the poison from his system. He must eat the nourishing food. That nourishing food will bring back his strength, and then he'll be able to walk again. This is the whole focus that we should have. So number one, avoid having that poison in the first place, which is going to weaken one. And then never to shirk on the nourishing food. The poison is sin, and the nourishing food is the Amal and Taqwa itself, the Mujahadah that's required. All this is part of the nourishment for the soul. Every time he restrains himself, and in that he had to make some Mujahadah within himself, that is tremendous nourishment for the soul. More nourishing for the soul than a whole night of tahajjud. It is very great. But that one moment of that Mujahadah to restrain himself from Haram nourishes the soul. So now when he'll keep nourishing himself, then what he felt at one time was very difficult now becomes easy because of that inner strength that he has developed. So all this is in his choice. It just depends now what a person chooses to do. If he chooses to take the path of weakening himself, that's what's going to happen. And if he chooses to take the path of strengthening himself, so that doesn't happen by wish and by just desiring it. People want to strengthen themselves physically with so much of training and weightlifting and whatnot, a lot of effort, and then at some stage that person becomes super fit. The same thing applies here. To the extent the person makes that mujahadah, then inshallah Allah will bless him with it. Allah Ta'ala bless him.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।